Well, it looks as though we have finally reached the end. Another finale down. And it's just, I'm pretty much finished with this show now. Don't really want to talk about it anymore. It's so bad. It's just so bad. What more can I say? Just 8 hours of absolute nothing and nonsense. That's really all this show was. There was nothing of substance, nothing to praise. Nothing to praise. Oh, it had some visuals, I forgot. But that's about it. Everything else is just terrible, and that's because JD Payne and Patrick McKay are patently shit. That's why. That is why, and I don't think going into season 2 it's going to get any better. Don't see that happening. But all has been revealed this episode, which is probably the best episode because we're now finished with it. That's the only reason it's the best episode. It's still shite, it's still predictable, obvious. And it's like, yeah, we predicted this show being a disaster. Oh, and what do you know? It's a disaster. But yeah, I don't know what we expected. Of course, it was going to be fucking trash. But I don't really know what to say before going in this episode, because when I was going through to get my notes, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a shit about this show. But at least we've reached the end. Unfortunately, we've got to come back to it in 2 years, which by then everybody would have forgotten about it anyway. I think I don't really see this show. I don't think they're going to go 5 seasons. I think round about the 3rd season they'll go, right, let's just cancel it. Just give it a rest. I think that's what's going to happen with this series. I don't see it going past season 3. I really hope it doesn't, because I don't want to be watching this fucking after season 3. It really seems like it's going to be one of those shows where eventually you're just going to go, yeah, well, whatever. It's shit. What new things can I say other than it's shit? That's the only thing I can really say. But should we just get in there anyway? Because I want to just blast through this. Just blast through it and be finished with it. Don't have to talk about the show ever again, other than, I imagine for the next week or so, there's going to be a few articles here and there coming out that's probably going to be worth talking about. But other than that, people ain't really going to be talking about it after that. It's going to be pretty much, again, we see shows like this constantly. They have no staying power. Even while this show has been airing, you've rarely seen people actually talk about it. They may talk about it on the day it releases, and maybe the day after. After that, nobody says nothing. Nobody says anything. We've seen that because more people have been talking about She-Hulk than the Rings of Power. But let's just get into it, because fuck this show. That's all I've really got to say about it at this point. So we start off with old Gandalf. That will be revealed very soon. We also have Incel Sauron, so we'll be speaking about that eventually. But he's off on his quest for world peace, or whatever it is. He looks at his apple and goes, "Oh, Nori, there's someone watching him that steals his apple because he drops it." And it's fucking Eminem. It's Eminem again. Because as we know, they believe him to be Sauron. And I'm just kind of confused at why they would even think this guy's Sauron. Did Sauron leave? Like, why would he fall out of the sky? I can't remember them establishing that Sauron disappeared. He went up in this. I don't really know where they're getting the idea that, oh, this must be Sauron because he fell out of the sky. I don't really know why they're just, and they don't really consider, oh, maybe it isn't Sauron. They don't even consider that. They're just like, no, you're Sauron. You're Sauron. Then eventually they go, oh, no, you're not Sauron. It's like, why didn't you even consider that it wasn't Sauron? I don't really know why you think, oh, a guy fell out of the sky, therefore Sauron. Did he leave? I don't really know. It doesn't seem like it, considering this episode. So whatever that is, so they're just like, you're Sauron or something like that, or Master or something, some shit. So we get that, and then we get Galadriel riding on a horse. She's going to heal Halbrand. There's a reason I'm laughing, just because once they establish how long they've been riding for with a man with the injury that he has. We'll get to that in a few seconds, in a few minutes. So then we have Geirond and Geirbrimbor, whatever you want to call them. They're standing outside talking about something. Yeah, basically, we have to let the High King know that we have failed to save the elves and all that shit. So that's basically the gist of it. And then Celebrimbor says, if only there was some way to do more with less. And I get it's just hilarious, this show. It's like we spent all these episodes on, we need all the mithril till, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. But we've gone from that to, oh, now we can just use this tiny bit of mithril. Just fucking waste of time, everything. So that's pretty much that. And then they hear, it's just, oh, well, we must prepare to abandon shores and shit like that. So it's Galadriel. They hear Galadriel coming with Halbrand on the horse. Look at that fucking wound. And in a second, they're going to tell us exactly how long they've been riding for. And Halbrand's still alive. Fuck me, if that didn't tip you off he was fucking Sauron, I don't know what will. Fuck me. Yeah, she says, oh, we rode for 6 days without resting, with a man with a fucking gash, a wound in his stomach. For 6 days without rest. That's her words. With 6 days. I don't know what fucking map they're using at this point. Because I'm pretty sure the distance from where they were to where they got is thousands of fucking miles. But no, it's 6 days. 6 days we rode without rest with a man that would clearly die from that. So then she has a conversation with Geirond again. Well, before that, he asks, oh, how is it your path crossed with his? Which we all know, oh, well, she came across him in the fucking ocean. Just by magic. And it's not going to be, oh, well, Sauron did it. No. We talk to that once the revelation comes. That revelation that is such a revelation, just didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming. No, we didn't see it at all. So now we have the scene where they're having a conversation. Where, Elrond is all, oh, sorry, I should never have put you on that ship. I'll never make that mistake again. Now I'm starting to remember what came up later on. There was, when I was going through getting all my notes, I got to a part and I'm like, what the fuck, what's she talking about? But this must be what she's talking about. Because the mistake he made by sending her off. What mistake? I don't really see what was gained, but I don't know. But somehow it was a mistake. But Elrond is her gay best friend. So what else happens in that scene? She says, I leapt from that ship. I believe I wasn't worthy of Valinor. My task wasn't complete. When I surfaced, all I could do was swim. Attempt to swim all the way back to Middle-earth. That's what she seemed to think she could have done that. Nope, would have been dead. It's just lucky, very lucky. You just came across a raft in the middle of the fucking ocean, and then in the middle of the fucking ocean, a fucking ship from Numenor turns up. In the middle of the ocean. So she highlights that contrivance. And that's basically that. And then she says, "Oh, I didn't swim all the way back to Middle-earth to only drown now." Something like that. So now we've got Halbrand getting out his bed, even though he just had a big fucking wound that he just rode for 6 days on a horse without rest, and now he's whatever. Doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter anymore. So he comes down looking for Galadriel and says, "Oh, is this Celebrimbor's workshop? I've heard many things about the wonders of his craft," which I find funny considering what's about to happen. I just find it funny that Celebrimbor is this amazing smith, yet he can't think of any fucking solution to his problems. Can't think of any solution. The magical great smith can't figure it out. He needs Halbrand to tell him. Never thought of it. So Halbrand goes over and starts looking at these jewels, asking, "What do you plan to use them for?" What else? What else do they say? So yeah, then he picks up the piece of mithril and says, "Why?" Like, Celebrimbor said, "Yeah, oh yeah, we because in the amounts we need, it's not going to work or something like that." So Halbrand says, "Why don't you try combining it with other alloys, like to amplify the qualities of the mithril?" So then Celebrimbor's like, "Oh, I didn't think of that, even though I'm a smith." So you should probably know that. Probably know that. I don't get it. I don't get it. But the reason why that's there is so then totally not Sauron says, "Call it a gift." Like the bringer of gifts stuff. Yeah, so that's why Celebrimbor couldn't figure this out. That's why when Celebrimbor needed to get his forge built, he never thought of the idea of getting the dwarfs to help, even though they were just round the back of him. But everyone's dumb in this show. Just absolutely dumb. So he's been given a gift by it's definitely not Sauron. Definitely not. There's no way. So then we get this pointless shit with the pointless character that has no point whatsoever. That is Elendil's made-up daughter that was included in the show to give female energy to the family or some shit. But at this point, she's been fucking useless. No use to the story whatsoever. So now we have this stuff where Pharazôn is getting them all to... Because he's going to be dying soon. Like, not Pharazôn the king. He's going to be dying soon, so they're sorting out stuff for his tomb. So they're getting these architects... Well, yeah, they're architects, aren't they? To, like, draw the king or some shit like that for a tomb. But then the king wakes up and say, well, he thinks, Miriel's at my bedside or some shit like that. He says, so he wants to warn Miriel, and he says, if the traditions of our people are not restored, Numenor will fall. Just hurry up and fucking fall. That's really all I can hope for at this point. Just all die. Just do it. Just end it all. So he wakes up and says that. It turns out the reason he's like this is because he stared at the Palantir way too long. So that's why he's kind of lost his mind a bit. So then he tells her to go in this room. And I tell you what, the one funny thing with this character is you barely look at her face. They're very prominent. They really just fucking point at you, don't they? They just look at you. Her tits. That's what I'm talking about. So that's that pointless shit. Numenor's gonna fall. I don't know why it's thrown in this episode. Don't know why. It doesn't even lead anywhere. What's the fucking point? So now they're having a discussion with Gil-galad, who's a complete fucking idiot. Because everyone is. Everyone is just moronic. So Gil-galad, so what happens here? So right, they're trying to convince him that, oh, we're gonna blend this with, combine it with some shit, and then we're gonna make it into a crown. It needs to be something circular, so it can't be unbounded or something like that. So that's what he wants to do. And the High King's like, nah, you ain't got enough time. Don't even bother trying. Don't even bother attempting to do it. Don't bother. Oh, we ain't got enough time. Don't bother. No, why not just do it to the very last minute? Why would you just go, nah, you know, we still got a few weeks here, but no, don't bother doing that. Don't bother. Don't bother. Me, Gil-galad, who wants a solution to our problem. Don't bother. Because, yeah, like, some of the lines he says, I'm just kind of like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying these things when you've done fuck all? You've done, like, he says lines like, there is no elf who wanted a solution more than me. So that's why he did fuck all but send away Galadriel. He went, I'll send her away, that'll solve the problem. And when it didn't solve the problem, you continued to do fuck all. You said, oh, go and get the mithril and shit. And then when they get the mithril, you're like, nah, don't bother now. Don't bother. So he's like, shut it all down. You know, disband the city and all that sort of stuff. Fucking done, wasted his time doing absolutely nothing. And now, yeah, now he's just like, nah, don't bother. I think part of it is he doesn't want to look bad, because all he done was send away some elf. And he thought, that will stop the evil from coming by sending an elf away. So, yeah, he essentially did nothing. Yet he seems to think he wanted it most. He wanted to find a solution most. Now he's saying, nah, don't bother, we're all dead. We're leaving. And then he says, oh, we needed it sooner. It's like, why are you... Why... I just don't understand why you're all of a sudden just going, nah, don't bother. Even though you've got the materials you need, don't even try. Don't even try. Even though I, Celebrimbor, wanted to find a solution the most, so I did absolutely nothing and just hoped that maybe it would go away. So he's a dumb twat. So, and then Galadriel, you may be asking, why is Galadriel looking at Celebrimbor that way? Well, yeah, what is it Celebrimbor says? Because she, yeah, he says, we're on the cusp of a new power, not of the flesh, but over the flesh. So this is something Adar said. I'm pretty, yeah, Adar said it when, was it, when her and Halbrand were talking him. He said that line. So now Galadriel was like, she's like, where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? Was Celebrimbor says, oh, they were my own words, I think. They were my words. And then she said, oh, were you in the same room as Halbrand? So I'm just like, well, we didn't see it, so no, I don't think so. The scene ended, so don't know. So she's like, she's now she's suspicious because Celebrimbor said power of the over the flesh, not of the flesh. That's what tipped her off. That maybe the guy that I said, no, you're king, even though he said he fucking wasn't, I said you're king. You're now getting suspicious. Now, you fucking dumb bitch. So Elrond runs off after Gil-galad and says, listen, if you let us do this, I'll give you a blowy. That's what happens in that. But so, yeah, Gil-galad now lets them do it. They went behind the bike sheds, you know, and done the business. So they're now starting work on this stuff. They've got their tools, they got fire. Galadriel's looking at Halbrand all suspiciously. So, yeah, I was Halbrand even in the room when Adar said that? But I don't even know why you'd go, oh, there must be something suspicious about how... I don't really know what's... I don't know. So she's going to get this guy to... He says, I'll have to scour the catacombs for that information. She wants information on... How does she put it? She says, I need royal lineages, bloodlines, anything on the Southlands. That's what she's asking this guy for. So he says, oh, well, we might not have that stuff. Of course they do have it. Why wouldn't they have it? I'm just like, why didn't you think of any of this before? Before you said, Halbrand, you're the king. And he said, no, I'm not. So what was in the information you had on the fucking king? I don't know what information you had to point to. Halbrand's the king. Oh, that's right. He had some pouch with a sigil on it. He told you, I robbed it off a dead man. And you went, nah, you're king. You're king. Really, I just want to make you king so I can use you. So I can use your sob story to get Muriel to do what I want them to do. So, yeah, I don't really know why when you look... Even at the town, when Halbrand, like, Bronwyn looked at the sigil and just went, oh, you're quite clearly the king. They didn't even ask for any evidence whatsoever, because why would you? Why would you ask for evidence? It's just that it's the same as, you know, one of us turning up at some country and just going, oh, no, I'm the king. What? No, they'd say, how? How are you? We need to test your DNA. We need to do this, that, and the other. They wouldn't just go, oh, yeah, you said you're king, so therefore you're king. So, yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But, yeah, I don't know why she didn't... Before you put someone on the throne and make them king, maybe make sure they're king! Maybe that's a good idea. Make sure they're king. Instead of just going, nah, you're the king. You're the king because I need to use you. So he tells that guy and he goes and gets it. So we find that information out really fucking quickly. What a big investigation that was. I'm starting to think maybe J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay don't know anything about fucking pacing. They just go, oh shit, we forgot to fucking... You know while we were wasting 7 hours of everybody's time, we forgot to introduce this. So now they just go, bleh, there you go. There you go. Just have it. We're not going to build up to anything. We're just going to go, we're done with that now. There you go. 5 minutes, that's all it took. Now we have the information we need. Maybe she should have just been suspicious of fucking hell. I think half the stuff, I'm just getting a bit too ahead of myself. So then she talks to Halbrand. This was actually stuff that... I don't even think I bothered writing any of this down because I was just... I don't give a shit. No, I didn't even bother. So, yeah, it's basically like, oh, thanks for... You saved me or something like that. Galadriel says, oh, yeah, but you saved me as well. We're even. And he's like, I could never make it up to you. You pushed me beyond my limits more than anybody could have. So, some shit like that. That's essentially it. But I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck to write it down. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that's it. You pushed me to heights that no one else could have. Could have. I don't know what I'm saying. Could have. He says summon and then he whispers, and I'll see to it that no one else does either. Something like that. I wouldn't worry about it. It wasn't anything like, oh, he's given himself away. It wasn't anything like that, so it's not really important. It was just more, let's waste everybody's time. So now we have this scene where definitely not Gandalf, even though later on, they still think he's Sauron. They're saying to him stuff like the reason why he can't speak and all that and can't think and all that sort of stuff is because his mind is veiled by, I don't know, someone's veiled your mind. Like, we need to awaken all your powers so you can control the slaves and stuff like that. So they're desperate that he's Sauron. Haven't considered that, oh, maybe he isn't. Maybe he isn't. Maybe we should do our due diligence as well. And figure things out and go, Is he Sauron? How do we figure out if this guy's Sauron? I know, we just say, you're Sauron. You're quite clearly Sauron. Even though it's obvious he fucking isn't. So he brings out the stars and they say, oh, the stars are in the lands of Rhûn. That's the only place they're visible. So then he starts doing magic. But again, I'm just like, what is giving you the impression I don't know. Why would you think Sauron fell out the sky? Like, I imagine he did at some point. Consider it, well, they come from the same place, didn't they? I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong, I don't know. So yeah, did Sauron leave? I don't think he did. He left. So I don't even know who these fannies are. Don't even know who they are. They're just some fucking weirdos. Fucking D12. Considering the main one. She walks fucking really strange as well. There's a load of shots in her. I'm like, why are you walking like that? It's like that. Fucking all that shit. Walking like a ghost. So he's starting doing stuff, and then she knocks him out with some gas she blows out of her hand. She did it with her breath. But now the Harfoots have shown up to save the day. So they're all looking at this like they've already figured out. They've already did I point out? Well, the main one is a shapeshifter. She can change into people. So the three of them are there originally. And then the Harfoots go, oh, look, where did the other one go? They're like, oh, well, it's better to have two than three. It's like, well, I don't know. They've clearly figured out you're there. Or at least, you know, you'll dive in there and maybe the other one will come back. But yeah, this is Eminem. She shapeshifted into certainly not Gandalf. So they go and untie him, and then they realise, oh shit, it's that Eminem woman. So as they're doing that, I believe someone throws a... Hold on, I need to find it. So he goes a bit insane. I just laugh at that shock. Where that woman came and thrown a fucking knife into Sadok. It's like, you're dead, my friend. You are dead. So he falls down some hole or something like that. It's fucking straight, because he shows up later on, even though it's like, nah, man, you ain't moving. So he falls down into a hole. I point that out because he somehow teleports to somewhere where he needs to be. So she comes, I don't know, again, we're just hit with the same stuff where I'm going to take my time to try to kill you. So then giving people time to stop me from killing you. It's like, you've had multiple opportunities, just do it. We don't need the, we don't need the drama of it. Just do it. Just kill them. Just kill them all. We don't need to waste time with you slowly walking with a knife to build up suspension. But that's what they do. Fucking waste every second in this show, they do. The amount of pauses in every line is so annoying. It's like, just say what you're going to say. We don't need you to go, it was just the other day. That's what they do constantly in this show. You're just trying to waste the seconds. We need as many minutes watched as possible, so we're going to have them pausing in every sentence. Or we're going to have people slowly walking towards people rather than just going, there you go, done, you're done. Don't need to waste my time walking slowly. So then Gandalf wakes up. I'm sorry, not Gandalf. He wakes up. I've got to show this frame because it made me fucking laugh. So he does this thing that knocks the two of them back, and the Eminem one. I just need to show this because it made me laugh. So just watch this. Just the way. What the fuck is that? It's good. That happens. So it's like that, and it has like a duh sound, and it just looked fucking horrible. It just made me cringe. Part of me was like, is this fucking Star Wars? It just reminded me of Revenge of the Sith, like the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's what it reminded me. Just the look she gave. And like the sound, it sounded like, it did sound a bit like some of the score out of Revenge of the Sith. It really did. So then she starts spinning them about. Part of me is like, are you just trying to basically go, oh look, it's because it's basically the same as Saruman and Gandalf, where, you know, Saruman spins him around and all that. They do the same thing here. That's not the only same thing they do here. They've got a lot of member berries in this. So then they're running along. The fat one gets knives pinned, and it's like, why didn't you just hit her? Why didn't you? Why? I don't. You killed Sadok a minute ago. You were a good shot. So why are you just going, no, I'm going to pin her against a tree? Just slice her fucking head off. How hard is it? How hard is it? But no, we can't kill these ones off. So we've got to go, oh, well, no, she missed this time. Even though she hit Sadok dead center. So she's clearly a good throw. So she walks slowly towards them again, as you do when you're going to kill people. You do it very slowly. So she goes to throw another knife. And then Sadok just comes out. No, you weren't there. Wait, I don't know where he came from. He just went, no, I fell down a hole, but now I'm over here. Even though I just got a knife to the gut. But yeah, I'm gonna... I don't... He's just teleported. He's just teleported. Look, oh, he looks fine now, doesn't he? For a man that's just been stabbed. So then, in typical Rings of Power fashion, rather than stab her where it will kill her, he goes, nah, stab her in the foot, because that's going to do a lot, isn't it? Fucking hell, as if you can't walk that off. Oh no, don't do that. Don't give me a limp. But they seem to be obsessed. So she shrieks like that. That's me at the thought of season 2. So she shrieks, but I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. He just randomly showed up out of nowhere after taking a knife to the gut. He teleports over there and then he stabs her in the foot, which we know doesn't kill anyone by stabbing them in the foot. But yeah, they've been obsessed with that. Stabbing people in the foot. It's just fucking stab them in the fucking heart. Or the head. Or anywhere but the foot. Anywhere but even the leg. Just slice the leg. You may get a good artery there that will kill you. But no, we go, nah, stab him in the foot. Fuck it. That would be funny, wouldn't it? So, better... no, I ain't really got much. Most of this shit is just easy to remember. So they still think he's Sauron. So she's like, make him remember. So she slowly walks towards, as you do, slowly, very slowly. We're not in a rush, are we? We're not in a rush to get done. So now now the Harfoots have magically got up in these trees and they're now throwing rocks at her. I just find it funny that for, you know, someone that's clearly got magical abilities, yet you're getting stones thrown at your head. You didn't hear it coming. So she's going to wake him up until she gets hit in the head by a stone. And then she's just like, I'm going to burn this place down. So where did they already have a fire going? Yeah, they've already got a fire going. So I was going to say, it's like, how are you doing that? But like having fire in your hands, like throwing fireballs. So then she burns the Harfoots. They all die, of course, except, well, you know, they would if this show made sense. So she's just blowing fire than them. It's like, just don't worry about them. They're little hobbits, little things. You shouldn't really be worried about them. Just do your job with definitely not Gandalf. So now Nori is trying to convince him to help them or something like that. He's like, I don't want to hurt you, some shit like that, like I did before. It's like, no, you never hurt her. She hurt herself when you were freezing your arms. For whatever reason that was, we still don't know why. She decided, I'm going to touch the man that clearly looks like I maybe shouldn't touch him. And then the tree branch falling the last episode, that wasn't his fault either. So I don't know why he thinks like that way. So she's trying to convince him. And then we just get a load of weird shit that doesn't make any sense. Where basically Nori is now Nori Allen. She's now the Flash. Where it's so what they've got happening. I'll see if I can find it. So that woman with the fire is going towards them, and it's going in slow motion. Then over with Nori, it's normal speed. It doesn't quite add up. So we're walking very slowly towards the people we want to kill. Very slowly indeed. That's because we're trying to give you every option to stop us. We're like, nah, I'm gonna give them a fair shot. Gonna give them a minute's head start, and I'm going to slowly walk towards them. Gradually, just do it. Just do it. Get it done. So they're all ready to die, and then Gandalf awakens and takes all the fire away. And then they're like, "Oh, you're not Sauron. Oh, right. We didn't consider the possibility you weren't Sauron. We just thought, oh, there's a guy that fell out of the sky. Obviously Sauron. Couldn't be anybody else but Sauron." So it's like they even know about this as well. They even know that. Oh no, he's that other one. He's the other one. It never once crossed their mind, even though they know there's a possibility they might have the wrong guy. There must have been ways they could figure out. So finally he can speak normal. He's obviously had they must have awoken something in him, or I don't know. I guess when he hit his head on the walls, so maybe that did it. Might as well be that, wouldn't it? So he says from Shadow, this is Gandalf saying to the weird worshipper freaks, saying, "From Shadow you came, I now bid your return." And then they're like, "He is not Sauron." Let me see if I can. Then they're like, "He is not Sauron. He's the Istar," which is of course wizard. So yeah, we already knew he was a wizard. She says he is, and then he cuts her off and says, "I'm good." And I just thought to myself, cringe. Because I'm just like, what is that line exactly? Because Nori once says, "I'm good," and then you so now we get remember the Nazguls? Only this time it's the Nazgals, or Nazgirls, whatever one you'd go for. Or Nazgirls with a vagina. Come up with your own one. So they're not Nazgul, it's just, they're just using the imagery for, it's a member berry. It's just member the Nazguls, that's all it is. So that's why, rather than just die normally, they show it like this, because they're just trying to make you think it's good by going, "Oh look, you like this, didn't you? Remember this? You like this." So that's all they're doing there. So that's the end of it. So they all hug and cheer and forget that, oh, Sadok's been stabbed, didn't he? Forgot about that for a minute. So he's dying now, and I'm just should have died ages ago. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's like, no, he already had a knife to the gut, and he managed to survive long enough till the fight was over. He managed to teleport over the other side of the forest to stab someone in the foot, just magically. But now we're done with that, so now we can die. So he's like, "I'm afraid I'm about to go a-wandering off the trail. The missus will be waiting." So Tolkienian, isn't it? The missus. The fuck. definitely what Tolkien wrote in his books, didn't he? Yeah. He wrote, oh, the old missus. The old missus. You know the old missus. So they wait. He just says, I want to sit here a while and wait for the sun to come up. So the sun comes up, and he dies off screen. So now we've got another pointless scene. Pretty much all the Numenor stuff is fucking useless in this episode, at least. It goes nowhere. It's like we get, it's going to be the fall of Numenor and stuff like that, but it's like this in a finale, really. It's like they forgot they had a finale. Sometimes it's as if I'm trying to mixing my words up there, that they've forgotten that this is like they have a finale. They don't seem to know how to do it. They forgot a lot of things. They forgot to clear up a lot of things. They don't go back to Isildur, by the way, which I'm kind of glad they don't, because he should be fucking dead. He should be dead. Well, they already should all be dead. Already this show's already over just from that pyroclastic flow. But as we've seen with Isildur, he then went into a burning building, and then that fell on top of him. So there's definitely no way he's alive, but he's gonna be alive. We know that, so it's kind of pointless doing that. Now he just has plot armor, so whatever. So Queen Miriel, who's now a bit of a blind fucker, she's now counting the steps from that side of the ship to the steps. He comes in and says, oh, there's 9 steps, or 9 steps, or up the stairs. I don't know. Let me just see. So it's basically, you asked me once why I pulled Galadriel from the sea. I claimed I had no choice. No, you said the sea was always right, because that is somehow an answer. He says other stuff like, so I claim to have little choice, but I chose to do this, that, and go to Middle Earth and take my son and all that sort of stuff. And he says, I made those choices basically because of his name. That's what his reasoning was. I made those choices because my name doesn't just mean one with the stars. So I guess he means, because it means elf friend as well. So that's why you made choices? I don't know. I don't really know where this scene was going, to be honest. I was kind of just watching it, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm just kind of, it's like they're going from one thing to the fucking other, all that sort of stuff. But he's all upset about his son. He didn't cry like a little bitch this time, though, so that's good. We're going the right way now. So, yes, and then they're like, oh, paying the price and all that shit. But this was kind of the point I just hit where I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't even care to, like, try and take the piss out of it. Because I'm just like, it's going nowhere. So an eye for one will see to it that we make this. So it's basically, me losing my son. Is that going to be, is that worth it in the end, or something like that? So that's basically that scene. But then they come up to the ship, and now she's going, oh, I don't know why she's doing. It's like, you're already blind. Why are you putting that on? Well, I suppose your eyes are going to be more, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just guessing that, I guess when you go blind, it's still a little, like, especially when you first go blind, I imagine like any sort of light exposure hurts your eyes, I guess. So that must be why she's got that on. But it's still hilarious to me that she went to Middle Earth and ended up she went to Middle Earth and came back blind. That's just, it's fucking comedy. It is comedy gold, this show. It really is. They don't even see how it's funny, Miriel trying to fucking find a way, going, what's going on? What's going on? So, because, they mention, so there's like a load of black flags up, and this means the king's dead, I guess. Because I seen this, when I done my first watch through, I was like, I don't really know what the fuck this means. But then going back through it, Pharazon says, "Oh, Numenor will be covered in black flags when the king dies." It's like that sort of stuff. So the king's dead. Pharazon's looking over him, all sinister. He's gonna do something. So yeah, then we get an explosion. Like they're trying to combine the mithril with different ores and alloys to we're gonna make rings. I'm surprised. I thought with a show called The Rings of Power, we already would add something about the rings. But they just throw it in at the end. We're not even at the end, by the way. We're now 38 minutes into the episode. I'm going a bit longer than I thought I would. I thought I want to get through this fucking quickly. I just want to get it done because I'm just so over this show now. Well, I've been over this show from the very start, but now I've just hit the point of I just fucking hate this. At least I'm having a bit of fun now, taking the piss out of it because that's all it's good for. So, yeah, that explodes and it's a bit of a failure. So, Celebrimbor loses his rag a bit, saying, "Oh, it should have worked. We ain't got enough time." Galadriel says, "Oh, well, maybe you should have a rest. You've been at it for a very long time." Yeah, because they've been forcing the mithril to combine, being forceful with it. So Halbrand proposes, well, what if that's the issue? We've been trying to force it. So it's essentially, let's force it, but with less force. Let's just hope it... Celebrimbor says, maybe we should coax it, so it's that. So they're just going to do it a bit lightly this time. So Galadriel's still looking at him all suspicious. And then the guy comes along. Didn't take him long to investigate this. We did it. We did it, guys. Within about 20 minutes. Oh, we already have the information we need. Didn't want to spend any time on it. Didn't want to spend any, searching for clues, trying to figure things. Nah, it's just, here, boy. Go down there, look for some information, and then he comes back, I've got the information. That's all we need to do. So she's now got that, and she's now standing out there. We're getting to the good stuff now, guys. And by good stuff, I just mean predictable fucking trash. So she's now got that scroll. So she's seen the information she needs. So Halbrand says, we're now going to make two of them, 2 crowns or rings or whatever. So come and look at them. And she says, not until you tell me who you are, because I've now looked at this stuff. So we're done with that page. Ah, fuck off, fucking paper. I tried to throw it away really good there, and it just flew back on me. So we're on page 3 now. So she says to him, there is no king of the Southlands. The line was broken. The last man to bear your crest died 1,000 years ago. He had no heir. So yeah, the Southlands didn't have a king. I'm just kind of reading what I wrote down. For 1,000 years, you don't really need a scroll to figure it out. Yeah, it's essentially, it's like she told him he was king. He said he wasn't. There's your first clue that maybe he's not the king. That's your first clue. But no, so yeah, part of this, I need to kind of think about this a second. So it's like if the Southlands haven't had a king in 1,000 years, why would their lineage continue? If clearly there's none of them left for 1,000 years, that's a very long time. Very long time, in case anybody was wondering. So it's like, yeah, we probably would be broken. But yeah, again, Galadriel thought, I'm gonna tell him he's king, just based on he has a sigil that he told me he found on a dead man. And I just went, "No, you didn't. You're the king." Just because in the moment I needed to use your sob story to get Muriel to go to Middle-earth. So that's basically what that is. So yeah, Halbrand even says to her, "I told you I found it on a dead man." And she's like, "No, on the raft, you saved me." Yeah, are we getting to that part? No, we're not at that part. I'm just kind of, fuck this show. So she says, "No, on the raft, you saved me." And then Halbrand says, "On the raft, you saved me." Not really, though. It didn't happen. But yeah, basically, I just kind of wrote down this as they are just stating facts. That's basically what this scene is. We're just going to state facts for 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, we know this information. You know this, so I don't really know. You're just stating fucking facts. I guess from Halbrand's perspective, she saved him from himself, I guess. But factually, she hasn't really saved anyone, has she? So, right, where are we now? So, yeah, then she says, "You convinced me." No, you convinced Muriel to save the men of Middle-earth. It's like, no, he fucking didn't. You did. You were there, Galadriel. Do you not remember? Do you not remember when you said that shit like there is a tempest in me, and then you went and took a dump? Like you said shit like that. It's like, no, you were the one that wanted Muriel to send Númenóreans to Middle-earth. First of all, they didn't even send the military. They sent a few boys that don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, yeah, I don't know where this logic's going. Most of this, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? It's like you're stating, facts are being stated. Galadriel's getting half of it wrong. Saying, "You convinced me." It's like, no, he didn't. Like, even Sauron says this. Says, "No, I wanted to stay. You fucking forced me to come back to Middle-earth." So, yeah, I don't know what our logic is. Oh, you convinced Muriel. No, he didn't. He did. I think we're missing a scene. I believe the episode before we head off to Middle-earth from Númenor, they miss a scene in that. Where I believe, you know the scene where Halbrand says I did evil things shit. It's that scene. I'm just trying to go off fucking memory here. But it's that scene, but when she leaves the workshop, she says to him, "Make sure you're at the meeting tomorrow, because that will smooth things over with Muriel. It may decide the fate of us going to Middle-earth." Yet we didn't have that scene. So are you referring to that scene that didn't happen? Dunno. I don't know, but her logic is, you convinced us. No. No, darling, you did. You did it. You were desperate, absolutely desperate. So desperate, you didn't even think to learn how to be diplomatic about things. So where do we go now? So, yeah, he says, "I wanted to remain in Númenor." Then she says, "You fought beside me." Yeah, again, stating facts. Yeah, he did, yes. Yes, fucking hell. Halbrand says, "Against your enemy and mine." So, yeah, just stating facts. That's really all it is. And then she says, "What is your name?" And he says to her, "I've been awake since before the breaking of the first silence. In that time, I've had many names." So, remember we said this, he's Sauron. Remember a load of people said, "No, he's not Sauron. No, he's not." Yeah, he's Sauron. And it's not even, is it open up? No, he literally calls himself Sauron. Eventually, anyway. Just not in this scene, but it's like, yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's Sauron. He said he's Sauron. So the showrunners can't go back on this now. Because I did hear, because some people know the information on what actually fucking happens in this series. Word for word, that is exactly what the person said. Like, "I've been awake since before the breaking of the first silence. In that time, I've had many names." Like, word for word. And, like, just, if you just had that, the showrunners would be able to change their minds in season 2. whereas now they can't. But you know, soon enough we'll get to Sauron being an incel. That's what they made him, Sauron. Literally made him an incel. Unbelievable. But we'll get to that. So then he sends her on a trip down memory lane. He gets inside her head. So now she's back in Valinor. Her brother shows up. And she's like, get out of my mind. And then they're looking at this dagger and shit, saying, you've been very brave. So basically, it's Sauron speaking for her brother. That's basically what it is. It's not actually her brother. So where are we now? A lot of this stuff I didn't even bother writing down because very little was in there. Yeah, she says, oh, yeah, but Sauron wanted to destroy this, that, and the other. He killed you. He was the reason why you died. And then her brother's like, well, you know, her brother / Sauron. Is that Sauron wanted to heal Middle-earth just as your fellow elves are seeking to do this very moment. It's like, no, they're not. They're not seeking to heal Middle-earth. They're seeking to heal themselves, not Middle-earth, though. So, and then he's like, so basically, Sauron's trying to get her to not go and tell Celebrimbor that, no, don't make those fucking rings, because Sauron told me to. Later on, she makes the rings. She lets them make it. She's going to do what Sauron wanted. He wanted it done for a reason. And you're just going to go along with that. You're not going to go, now maybe it's best we don't save ourselves if this little shit is going to destroy Middle-earth. Or do whatever. But they've now made it that he's going to destroy Middle-earth because of Galadriel. Because he got rejected. So, yeah, he says to her, you don't need to lie to them. Just let the work proceed. And then her brother says that fucking stupid line about, oh, touch the darkness once more. So that's pretty much that. Then she goes off, and now they're on the ship, and they're gonna have a conversation now. So he starts off with this pretty much. When Morgoth was defeated, when Morgoth was defeated, essentially, I felt the grip of his fist around me or something like that disappear. I was now free of him. To be forgiven, I knew I had to heal everything. So he actually wanted to change his ways, which he's now not going to do. Which he's now not going to do because he was rejected by Galadriel. Ah, oh, fucking hell. So she's like, no penance. No penance could ever erase the evil you've done. I don't know if anybody remembers at this point. Imagine most people have tried to get it out of their memories. But do you remember when Halbrand, or Sauron, just call him Sauron now, might as well. When Sauron tells Galadriel, I've done evil in the past, and she's like, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, be free of it. Now she's like, nah, I don't actually believe that now. So again, it's like, he fucking told you, you dumb bitch. He told you then and there, I have done some evil things in my life that I don't believe I can be forgiven for. And you're like, don't matter, be free of it. And now you're going, nah, you can't fucking redeem yourself. Can't redeem yourself. So yeah, he told her that he had done evil things. She said it was fine. And then she's like, you deceived me. It's like, no, he didn't. He fucking told you. He told you, darling. Told you to your face. You said it was fine. I'm so glad Sauron's pointing out this bullshit. Even he's saying, it's like, no, I told you the truth. I literally said I did evil things, and you said be free of it. That is what you believe. And then she's like, don't tell me what I believe. And then she calls his manager. Might as well. So, is that essentially this stuff, yeah. So yeah, she says, "Oh no," he says, "The reason why you said I could be free of the evil is because you knew the past meant nothing weighed against our future." So he wants to be with Galadriel. He wants to date her. He wants to marry her, and she rejects him. So he goes on. So then he destroys Middle Earth, or attempts to, because he was shot down by Galadriel. Fucking hell. What a surprise. What a surprise in 2022 they make Sauron an incel. Fucking hell. So, yeah, she's like, there is no future between us. He says, you bind me to the light, and I bind you to the power. We shall rule as king and queen and shit like that. But yeah, so she'll keep him good, and he'll give her power. So then we get a shot in the ocean. Where is it? So yeah, there you can see Sauron and Galadriel together. So that's what he wants. He wants to be with her. He wants to be with her. And when he gets rejected, he goes on the warpath. So, because we got a few good meme faces here. So you can see how he's just crying because she doesn't want to be with him. Doesn't want to be with him, so he's going to kill everybody. How are we going to get through this episode? I can't believe we've already been here an hour. Unbelievable. Well, it shouldn't be too long now, because I'm not even going to bother going over. So this happened. So in the whole series, this happened. I don't give a fuck. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up making a video or something. I don't know. Sort of an overall sort of overview bullshit. But it'll be like a 10-minute fucking video. We'll see what happens. But part of me is like, I'm not fucking watching that shit again. I'm not watching this again. Never watching it, even when season 2 comes out. I'm not even going to refresh myself with this shit. You know, I'll say that now and then I end up going, maybe I should watch. But I don't want to. Fuck this shit. So, yeah, Galadriel says to him, save or rule. And he's like, what difference does it make? Or like, I see no difference. And she's like, and that is why I will never be at your side. So he's not happy. He is not happy. He's going to go on the warpath because he got rejected by Galadriel. So, right, we're getting to the stuff now. Where we're gonna have to, because they do like, I don't know why they're right in each other's face. I don't know. Like, I mean, well, the camera like goes right in their faces. So he's like, what will they do when you tell them that you were my ally? She's not going to tell him, is she? Because it make her look fucking stupid, wouldn't it? He says, what will you do? What will you do about, that Sauron lives because of you? So he like yells at her. But yeah, he also brings up that, they cast you out because you asked for some soldiers to go out and look for me. So he's saying stuff like that. So then he goes all mad face. He's like, you rejected me. You rejected my proposal. I wanted to marry you, and you rejected me. I wanted to go out with you, and you rejected me. Now I'm going to kill everybody. Fucking hell. What a time. What a time to live. So he's going all Sauron face. Screams at her, and then, then we get these. These are always fun. What are you doing? What are you doing, Morphy Clark? Don't do it. Don't pull these faces. Just don't do it. It's fucking cringe. I tell you what. One of the most memeable faces about at the moment. Just look at that. Fucking hell, man. So yeah, and she shouts at them, and you will die because of me. So that's that. Then she drowns and she dies, and that's the end of it. But unfortunately, no. So then she wakes up out the water, because this has all been happening in her head anyway. Sauron's gone. She thinks Elrond is Sauron in disguise. So she asks him, "Oh, when did we first meet?" And he tells her, and then she's like, "Oh, you're Elrond." So then she says, "Have you started making the rings yet?" He says, "No," so she runs off in a hurry. She says, "Is it done?" They're like, "Where is Halbrand? We got to know. We need to know where Halbrand is." But it's like, she's like, "I'm not telling you. Just, if you see him again, don't do business with him." Something like that. She says, "I doubt we'll ever see him again." So Celebrimbor says, "Should we get on with it then? Should we make the rings?" And she's like, "No, make 3. She wants one for herself. She says, "Yeah." So a reason why make 3 is 1 corrupts, 2 divides, 3 is balanced. So that's sort of a reason why. And it's like, you're literally doing what Sauron wanted you to do. Why? He's Sauron. I don't know if you've forgotten this, Galadriel. He's Sauron. Maybe don't do what he wants. Maybe don't do that. Maybe, just maybe, the elves can just fuck off to Valinor. They're not going to die. This is not the end of the elves. So maybe you shouldn't... Maybe, just maybe, the writers shouldn't have written it this way. Maybe, because now they now have a person doing exactly what Sauron wants, when they don't have to. But that's the dumbness of it. So yeah, that's when she kind of brings up, because he's still badgering her about, what about what happened with Halbrand? What happened? So she's like, "Oh, you made a mistake once, Elrond." Then she doesn't tell him. They're just like, "Okay." So then Celebrimbor's like, "Well, for us to make these rings, or these pieces of metal, and then make them into rings, we need your Valinor gold and silver." So she's got to give up her the dagger from her brother. They play somber music like this really mattered to her. They play all that somber music, and they're just, that's basically what that is. And then he brings, the creation requires sacrifice and all that. And here's the most touching stuff, very touching, the Harfoot stuff, isn't it? Those little fucking maniacs. So she's sitting with definitely not Gandalf. That will change in about 2 minutes. So what are they talking about? It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's essentially... he says, "I have to go to Rune." Then she's like, "They called you Istar. What does that mean?" He's like, "In your tongue, that means wizard. Wise one or wizard." And then she says something like, I need to see if the bit of dialogue comes up. Because I forget how... It was just a dumb line. Where definitely not Gandalf until 2 minutes. Says, "Going alone is a journey. Whereas going with people is an adventure." It's like, no, it fucking isn't. A journey and an adventure has got nothing to do with how many participants are in it. I don't know if the showrunners remembered. The Hobbit, an unexpected journey. Multiple people went. But no, apparently... a journey is when you go on your own. And an adventure is when you go with people. So, no, they're pretty similar things. There's no difference between them, really. So, he says all that. So, yeah, she has that heartwarming conversation that I just almost cried at. I almost cried at. Nah, that was House of the Dragon that done that, by the way. Not fucking Rings of Power. So she's now the leader for some reason. She's looking at the map upside down, because as you do. She's like, it looks like we gotta, unpick the trail and all that. And then fat fucking Sam, female Sam that is, comes over like walks like the Cookie Monster. Anytime she comes over to someone, it's like, will you calm down? You're gonna knock someone over, man. It's like, just like the way, see, throughout this entire, like the way she's moved, I'm like, why are you moving like that? You know, you even see her walking like fucking this. Like what are you doing? Why are you walking so weird? She fucking comes over like Bigfoot, says, you got the map upside down, Malva. You got it upside down. We're actually going up hills. So then she goes, you know, Malva, who advocated to leave the Brandyfoots behind to die. She then says, like she says, nobody goes off trail, and then they all shout, nobody walks nobody walks alone, except if you're on a mountaintop, we just fucking leave you there. Then it's like the writers really don't realize what they've written the Harfoots as. They don't realize it was fucked up with one little thing with, you know, we lost one up in the mountain, didn't go back and help him. They literally know he was up on the mountain, didn't bother helping him. So, but yeah, they you know, they're clearly fucking delusional. If they just don't realize, it's like, fuck the Harfoots, let's be honest. Fuck them, fuck the shit they wear in their hair. Just go to hell. That's all I've got to say to the Harfoots. I'm so sick of looking at these things with shit in their hair. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It doesn't look good. They've clearly tried to do it so they look you know, warm, whatever you want to call it. And it's just like, nah, it looks fucking shit. Look at this guy. Fucking hell, what a face. What a fucking face. So, yeah, all this fucking hair. I'm so tired of that. It looks shit. It looks so dumb. But they're going to do that anyway for some reason. But they say the old slogan, nobody goes off trail. Nobody walks alone, except that guy we left on the fucking mountain. So then she's all sad about Sadok was... I loved when Sadok said it. She's now turned into you know, a happy woman, even though like she's wanted to leave people to die and all that. She's like a piece of shit. And now all of a sudden she's like, nah, I'm actually nice. You're not. You're delusional. So she's looking up there. Her dad brings the backpack, says, sling your hook. We want Riddy as well. But no, he brings her backpack and says, go on. What does he say to her? Yeah, you're a part of something bigger now. So they're going to send her off with a wizard that definitely isn't Gandalf. Give it a few seconds. They're gonna send their daughter off with this guy. Why? They talk like this is all earned. That, oh, you're a part of something bigger now. No, you're not. No. You just found a man that fell out the sky. He's going to go away and do his own thing now. Why are you going to go with him? Oh, that's right, because we need a hobbit to go on a journey, I'm sorry, adventure with a fucking wizard. That's why. Remember, Lord of the Rings. That's why. That's why we need a bloody hobbit. They're hobbits. Fuck off. They're not Harfoots. You know, they can be the Harfoots type, but they're not. They're still hobbits. That's all it is. We need to send a hobbit on a journey with a wizard because you like that. Yet in this, they've done it the shit way, done it the wrong way round. But yeah, they do it as if it's earned, as if they've built up to this, as if she's earned this going on a journey with a wizard. But it's not. It's like it's just, oh, she's going off with a wizard now. It's not like an earned thing. So where are we now? So yeah, so you're a part of something bigger now. No, she ain't. Then Goldie says he needs you. You belong out there. I thought she was your fucking daughter. Okay. So that's basically that. I don't give a fuck about anything else. I cried. I cried when I seen this scene. So, yeah, and then Goldie says to her, "You'll be bold." You know, still after 8 episodes, they're still telling us about Nori. How about maybe, just maybe, show us for once? But no. So then, Fat Sam, female Sam, I might add, she doesn't really say much of a goodbye. And then, as she's walking off, she runs up and fucking making earthquakes. She runs to her. Oh my god, it was so a tear fell down my eye. I so care about their relationship. But I'm pretty sure they were going for end of Fellowship of the Ring as well. That's what they were going with, you know, when Sam follows Frodo out into the water when Frodo's going off on the boat. That's what I think they were trying to do here. They were trying to capture the same thing. Whereas actually in Fellowship of the Ring, it does bring a tear to your eye that Sam, even though he can't swim, still tries to swim out and get to Frodo because he wants to be there with him. Whereas this, it's just like, you know, I still don't really know much about you. I don't give a fuck about you. Your entire species in this show are pricks. So that's that part. You know, it's talking about Fellowship of the Ring that's really getting me up for, because that's kind of my plan today. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go and watch the Peter Jackson trilogy, because that's good. So now I'm just like, let's hurry up now. I want to go and watch that now. It's fucking good shit. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. She goes off with the wizard. He wants her to lead the way for some reason. She's like, I don't know where to go. He says there's a sweet smell on the air. So this is how we know they're not going to call him Gandalf, of course. But he is Gandalf. Because they repeat a line from the Fellowship of the Ring where he says, when in doubt, Eleanor Brandyfoot, always follow your nose. So yeah, he's Gandalf, because Gandalf said that to Merry when they were in Khazad-dûm. When Gandalf was lost and he didn't know what tunnel to take, eventually he figured it out, because he said to Merry, when in doubt, always think with your I don't know why I'm forgetting. Always follow your nose. So yeah, he's Gandalf. Yep, of course he is. What a surprise. But yeah, as I've said, they're not going to call him Gandalf. I don't think they can. But yeah, he's meant to be Gandalf. Again, more member berries. Member berries. That's because they, it's the same as A Force Awakens, isn't it? It's not a surprise they're doing this with it, considering J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay are the underlings of Jar Jar Abrams. So, same shit, just repurposed, pretty much trying to tell the same story, member berries all across the place. Same thing. So he said that line, okay, and so now he's Gandalf. I don't know what they're going to call him. So now they're melting a dagger that meant so much to her. It's so bad she had to get rid of it. So they melt this. It makes a load of shit. So yeah, then they have people working on the rings. So, see, because he hasn't had any impact, I just forget his name. Should have got Hugo Weaving, shouldn't you? So Elrond, he's pacing up and down. He's trying to figure out whether or not to come out to Galadriel. But no, he goes down to the river. The scroll it's still there. It was in the water, but it was still there. It didn't get swept away or anything. So now he knows that, Halbrand ain't king. So what's actually going on? So he walks in. They don't say a thing. They just look at these rings. So they now have the rings. Galadriel let them do what Sauron wanted them to do. Because that makes sense. Do what the evil guy wants you to do. Right. So they've now got their rings. And then we see Incel Sauron, who's now wants to destroy Middle-earth because he got rejected by Galadriel. He got a relationship rejected by Galadriel, now he's gonna destroy Middle Earth. So he's now they made Sauron an incel. Of course they did. How many times have we seen this now? Fucking hell. We've even had an incel Doctor Strange. So he's now turned up to Mordor. That fucking shot looks awful. Absolutely awful. Look at that shit green screen. Absolute shit. So then he's looking on, smiling. I'm going to kill her because she didn't marry me. I'm going to masturbate in the office of Mordor. So that's it. And then we get a corporatized. We get the corporate song in their halls of stone. You know, the 9 rings went to men and shit like that. But it's like really corporate and cringe. And it's just like, yeah, of course. Of course, that's what this whole show was. Corporate and cringe. But that brings us to the end of the episode. Wow, what an amazing show. I can't wait to see what happens in season 2 in 2 years. In 2 years, 2.5 years. Hopefully never. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But I don't think we're that lucky. I don't think I'm that lucky. But that gets another show out the way. Finish She-Hulk this week. Now we finish this. And now I can rest. And now I have to think about what my closing statements are. But yeah, shite. That's really all I can say. It's just shite. Even the revelation of Sauron is shite. It's just so poorly constructed. It's just like, oh fuck, it's the last episode. We better do everything now. It's like you had 8 hours. You had 8 hours to build things up. And this is what you've done with it. You just went, oh, I tell you what, 35 minutes into the episode, we'll have it be revealed that Halbrand's Sauron. We didn't see that coming. It would have been better if we didn't. It's like they made it so obvious. So obvious. It was obviously not going to be the stranger, but that's the only reason they had that Sauron shit. The nun weirdos calling the stranger or Gandalf Sauron. It's because they thought everybody was dumb as fuck. They thought, oh, this will confuse people. They might think that this guy that's clearly a wizard is Sauron. It's like, but no, who's going to think that? Who did anyone actually think that the stranger was Sauron? It's like, see if you thought that was Sauron, man. Fuck me. You got fucking room temperature IQ. So that was obvious. It was so predictable. What a predictable show. So I don't really know what else I can say about this series other than it's just give it a buy. Don't even bother. Don't even bother with season 2. It's a waste of money. Waste of money. I just think they should start again. Just start from scratch. You'd save more money. Save more money. Hire people that know what they're doing, that are experienced. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Or how about just go get Peter Jackson? Just go get Peter Jackson. Just get someone that's proven he knows what he's doing with this shit. Not so much The Hobbit, but Lord of the Rings. Greatest trilogy ever made. Peter Jackson done that. What did J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay do? Nothing. Nothing. Not going to be remembered. Whereas Peter Jackson, he's got a fucking legacy. Tolkien has a legacy. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, just a couple of shit writers that should just get the sack. Because they are not good. Not good. But hey, give us some more stuff to laugh at. If you're not going to give me anything good, at least give me stuff to laugh at. That's all I can ask for. But that's season 1 of The Rings of Power. What did people think? Let me know in the comments below. I bet you thought it was shit. But I'm just going to wrap things up there anyway, because it's been an hour and 25 minutes. I didn't think I'd go that long. To be honest, I should go over the whole series, but it's just like, nah. Maybe I will do like a 10-minute video that's sort of like a you know, more of a quick review sort of thing. I might do that. It just depends. See if I don't. If I can do it in a way that I don't have to go back and watch the fucking thing, I'll do it. But if I have to go back and watch it, no thanks. No thanks. I'm fine with that. But yeah, it was as predicted. It was terrible. All I can say is thank God for House of the Dragon. That's all I can say. Because episode 8 of that was fucking great. Great. Actually brought a tear to my eye. Whereas this, I'm just like, I hate everybody. I don't know anything about anybody other than they're just dumb. Everybody is just dumb. And not that it needs to be said, but see, when we have a show or a film where characters are making dumb decisions, that is because the writers are dumb. That is why. That's because that would be the decisions they would make. So that's what we've gotten with this. But yeah, it's like this could have been so easily averted. It could have been. You could have just made a good show. You could have just, Amazon could have actually hired professionals that actually have a credit to their names. They could have done this. All of this could have been done. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. They chose not to. They chose because Amazon actually thought it was a good idea to hire the people with the least amount of work under their belt. That was the conclusion they came to. They came to that conclusion. That maybe it's the people that don't know what they're doing. Get them. But yeah, again, it's another bad show that it didn't have to be a bad show. Didn't have to be. But certain things from modern day affected it. And just the fact there's a lot of shit writers out there. Really is. But yeah, of course, I wanted this to be good. It wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was very bad. Very bad from start to finish. From start to finish, it just got progressively worse. It really did. So I'm going to finish off there. I don't really think I've got much else to say other than, oh, it's Sauron turned out to be Sauron. Gandalf turned out to be Gandalf. Everything's just predictable and it's not well done. It's not well put together. But that's all I got to say anyway. I think the last thing I'll say is fuck this show.